What about Thousand in your car and look at top
So, in our case, at the present, we have achieved this perfect human rebirth, which is extremely difficult to achieve, and met with the Buddha's teaching, which is extremely difficult to meet with.
What is your London then? Because of that. Find your move into a car, man. What is from your Sanjay? I'm trading the Young and I would trade the Christian
And also, although we are unfortunate or not so fortunate enough to meet, Buddhas directly, and receive directly from them, but, fortunately, we are able to encounter the Buddha's teaching, and, and then plus who the masters or the gurus who are able to instruct completely in non-mistaken ways. And then, we are also, completely free, or we are free from all the severe and, different levels of heavy diseases. And if one wishes to engage into the practices, then one has the wisdom to discriminate, what is, to be abandoned and what is to be adopted. And then, so we have, we have gathered together all the external and internal favorable conditions which were extremely difficult to meet with. So therefore, having obtained such a conditions, even to waste a few minutes, it is very sad. Even to waste, a few minutes, it will be very sad. We should be feeling very sad about it. Because, and the reason is because, such a favorable condition together will not last that long, because these are in the nature of impermanent, in any moment can be changed. So, there are many other conditions who are, waiting, to change or to degenerate these favorable conditions, such as, constantly facing severe diseases and constantly, maybe finishing one's life, maybe subject to death and so on. So before, encountering these unfavorable obstacles, then, it is up to us, to decide and to make determination, to make the right decision. Because at the present, we are in the middle where we can also go up and we can also fall back. So, we are in the right border or the right demarcation where you can also surpass and go into the proper direction, and also a situation where you can also fall back and go into the negative directions. The reason is because we haven't not only met the general Dharma or the general procedures of Dharma, but on top of that we have met with the secret Vajrayana path. So this Vajrayana path is, or the method is said to be, or it can either lead you, in a very short time into the enlightened state, or it can lead to the lowest of the hell. So it is very, very unstable state. We are at the moment in very unstable states. So therefore, if one were to put right effort and right practice into that method or into that path, then it can also lead very quickly and swiftly into the enlightenment state. So for that, we need to have a right understanding and the right correct way of following the paths. Because at the present, we have a choice, a full of choice to select, different levels and different kinds of practices according with one's own mental capabilities and one's own level of mentalities. So at the present, we can choose the different methods and practices which is suitable to one's wish and one's, state of understanding and one's state of mentality. So, if, having found such an opportunity, if one is unable to practice the method which is suitable for one's mind, then it's very sad. Because when you talk about death, it's not, it's not something that very difficult. It's not something that you have to go through, so many preparations for to happen that, it will just suddenly happen to you, without having done any preparation for that. So like, the day when you breath out, and if you don't have any power to inhale or breath in, then that means death. So when you talk about, to have long lives or to have long life means, the life or the force of life that allows you to, function. So when you talk about the force of life, it merely refers to the breathing that you breathe out and in. So, really, like we breathe out and in, the more you breathe out and in, the more your life is finishing up. The more your life is like finishing up. For example, like it is same like the watch, which requires a battery. So long as battery is there alive, it runs. The moment the battery stops or the battery finishes, it stops functioning. So, every breath that you inhale and exhale is the point of finishing your life. So, if one were to die without having done, because there's two ways of facing death. One is good way of positive way of facing death, and one is negative way of facing death. If we were to face the negative death, it would be a very sad situation, isn't it? But then, beforehand, if one has practiced sincerely and properly, whatever, practice that one is able to carry on, then one is maybe, even the death occurs, no one is not afraid of that.
어쨌든 시야는 직선계지단 시월에 시월 삼는 강가로 시주는 지가 개말 신인 답에 야고 좀 마셔나 이게 동행 처벌이 아들이야 내용 삼지라 대시고를 산다.
So when we talk about having fear towards our death, means not something we should be fearful or we should have fear towards the death itself. It's not referred to that. The main point is, because the death will happen to anybody, anyone, So it's not, we are not afraid of that. But the fear is, for the, concerning for the sake of life after death, because if the life after death has to go through intense suffering and intense fear, then that is the situation where you have fear of, you are afraid of, but not the death itself. So to have joyful death or to have a peaceful death, to go with the joy at the time of death, then you have to make full preparation from now onward.
That's a rather than no one in that because of Casoro. Simon Bed. What about Nimbo Rabbit? Mazana Nimbudin, Kamana, and Nimbu, Chumusin, and country.
So, while you are alive, then, we have to take the full advantage, if possible, take the largest or the most supreme essence of the life. If not, then middling, essence of the life. And if not, then at least one takes the smallest essence of the life.
What in the Nicola Casola? That's your Chimayan Bell, Casola. On the Tamil Tamda, Tabe on the machine.
Then, to do that, then one shouldn't be merely attached towards the attainment of the, human rebirths and the rebirths in the higher states such as gods. One shouldn't be attached towards those goals.
What about some Tamjaki Bama, listening to Tamjaki Tondo, Sanji Gomar, Majine, Juwas, Tige, don't but I'm sure somebody in some.
So please develop the motivation here that, in order to achieve fully enlightened state for the sake of all other or for the sake of all other sentient beings, for that sake, I'm going to listen to the holy doctrine or the holy dharmas.
Oh, that can't semble training the Casota. Jidan Dajum, that Chelaman was your dead, and the Casota. So
the subject or the teaching here has been given on, generally, within the Buddhism there are so many levels of Buddhism, but this comes under the category of the Mahayana teachings, and within the Mahayana, it comes under the category of the Mahayana teachings. So among that, then we have this, Vajrayana. So it is the, among the 4 classes of Vajrayanas, then this practice is the king of the action tantra, like the king of the practice of the action tantra. So within the 4 lineages of the action tantra, this practice comes under the, this is the lineage of the lotus lineage, lotus lineage practice.
Tango tu kiru on chebi ina some kiru mango juya some kiru jawa da sem saro member da was ngaro da some kiru mango shares.
So as when we talk about this area Avalokiteshvara, then like initial generation of the motivation, there are varieties, like a generation of mind generation, king like mind generation, and king like a physician, king in the mind generation like a physician and so forth. There are so many varieties of levels of mind generation you can generate during the path.
Or the Nyambata was Sinji Saraband, Sinji Saraband, Nyambata was Saraband, Chusi Dabu Saraband. Like more even than that, the 다 어토이 칭보된 주제도 있으면 기어서.
So there are like so many different levels of mind generation, like the like the salesman, like mind generation, and the shepherd, like the mind generation, like shepherd. So this area, our the Shora generated mind generation in the form of shepherd like mind generation.
나 주제생들 그 배셰 가려서 남던 이게 다 돈도 따라로라 실어서 선지라서 와신다 이게 다 선인지나 추추가 선인지는 당고 심지도 자유가 야게 자주야 좀 사야게 먼저 조건 장사는데 제라랑 가라서 다 저기가 임다
this man generation is is explained with reference to the shepherd, because for the shepherd who looks after the cows or goats or sheep, he or she will first lead all the animals into the place where there's abundance of grass and abundance of foods to eat. Then then he will kind of later on, then he will enjoy or he will relax, isn't it?
저는 보고서 코로나 선제 탐정을이야 산재살이야 땅 제제리야 고랑산 결했어요. 당고 도스도 있겠어요.
So also the compassion, our Shora also generated the same kind of motivation that he wishes to lead entire sentient being into the enlightenment state first, and then he wants to achieve enlightenment state by himself. So for himself.
어디 도만내가 닝지침보배 세다 쉬어버려서 선제 탐자 산자살이 안내리야 동음에서 쇠는 지라 산지가 유수한테 삼어 띵을 못 따나 오늘 전에 그 배다 오늘 닝지침보배 휴침보 휴침면은 단자기다 선제도 말았어.
So his compassion is so great that without such a compassion, one will never generate such a thought or such a concern to lead entire beings into the enlightened state first.
다들 ਸਮਝ베 전에 대바지야 산자살이야 되는 망고지야 다 간단히야 되는 배다 ਸਮ지 답배다 가진지 답 ਸਮ지 도요 선배양 다들 되거나 ਸਮ지 근데 용을 주는 지역만 단도래.
So
근데 지금 통화 망고지야 되는 제버렸어.
So initially he led infinite sentient beings into the enlightenment state. He led. Then in his mind he thought maybe now no more sentient beings are left. Because he thought that all are already led into the enlightenment state. And then again he went to check, still he sees infinite sentient beings is still wandering. And then again he led to infinite, and then checked quite a few times like this.
나한테 ਸਮ지는 배균에 간다 용도 배다 시본 배망 탁수에서는 배 가두이네다야 산자살이야 고도야 그 사야 지야를 좀 매봐서 된다 배 세거렸어.
And then finally he saw, because there's numberless, no matter how much he led, he still sees there's no decreasing in number, so it's just infinite. And then he developed a sense of discouragement that he can never lead the entire sentient being into enlightenment state.
तबे समझे मंगदार छोड़ बे समझे 탐제 내려야 산게 란질이야 산게 बे समझे मंगदार छोड़ बे कोई बे 투즈 बे सिया में बरते 다 공부돼 봉하랬어.
In his mind the thought arises that maybe to happen that to occur time where all sentient beings led into the enlightened state may be impossible, because these sentient beings are incalculable in number, infinite.
난 이제는 진짜 승리야. 삼지산자살이야. 거기 란젤 산지가 인사가 되다 보지. 순 탐제야 산지와 산자살이야. 거기에 투주디가 가지고 생겨서 그런 배는 투로바 로고 숑버스.
And then he developed very strong discouragement, generally strong discouragement, and thinking that when is the time possible for me to lead entire sentient being into the enlightenment state? When will this time happen to me?
그 심지로 저기는 요 말을 봐. 심지를 배 단도다 망도 루요부터 그냥 저요 말을 못해서 심지 균을 다 된다고 배 타다 몸에가 인자 바와서서 그런 제리야 대응이야 산계와 땅 두아지 갈려가고 그래요.
So therefore, because since the sentient beings are numberless, infinite, so it is very hard for the Arya Avalokiteshvara to lead entire into the enlightenment state. And although the number of sentient beings is not increasing, but it's still, because it is already infinite from that point of view, it is it's very hard for him to lead all before he attains enlightenment. And then in his mind he developed that he took maybe the wrong commitment, He took maybe which is some the commitment which is maybe he can't do. He took then he degenerated his mind, shepherd like mind generation.
that is something that Tango Ben, that was the same kid, that you just like a Tango doing the Yatanga, so there was some Tanzania Sanja, Jezilla Koran in Cheva Yinta, that one was just as attended to the Cheva Yinta, that they got Kalian the Short Yinta, and Udipa to Mujala Simples.
So then, because he had taken this commitment in the presence of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 10 direction, but suddenly he gave up that commitment, so his head broke down into 100 pieces.
Not in a Sanja Vamega, then that Kirambe, Tumbuka or two Marasin, then it would Tumbut Yawadenu, which usually are already restaurants, would Tumbut usually are already restaurants, which you see, and take on the narrow scenes of Wame Koran said, and to see.
And then, then Buddha, the Amitabha Buddha, advice, and then, says, you don't need to worry so much, I will assist you or I will help you. So, his 100 pieces of head, make into 10 pieces. So 10 pieces into each head and become 10 pieces, and on top you have the Amitabha head.
That in any castle, that was very significant because that
so that's how this 11th phase Avalokiteshvara came into being.
That didn't show you your Maris and then we touch out on as a chart on the giant on the Otujiros.
And then followed by all this 1,000 arms and 1,000 eyes came into being.
The lion didn't get that castle about to see Lion Benings, the Patasanja when you heard of Tona, then the bullying the Lian castle, Gazan Sanja Dong. Ma, then to see Gazan Sanja Dong Ma to Yavasita. Then what a chart on the Uncolor give up a Dong Jigma, Sanjana, another one would do the best that was Sanja Salian, we have a Tapsheta. What a conjecture, that teacher.
So, with the help of each other, with Amitabha and Avalokiteshvara, with the help of each other, then, all these manifestations came into being. And then, he also had the ability to manifest in the aspect of 1,000 fortunate Buddhas. And then he had these 1,000 arms symbolizing, to train the wheel of doctrine in the world system and so on.
And then, like a
person like beings like ourselves, we haven't, Avalokiteshvara haven't given up yet. He will be taking care until the end of the sentient beings in the cycle of existence. Because you see in the image of Avalokiteshvara that he's holding a jewel at the heart.
What is on Yanzabe, and the Simsi Mazoji Padonga, and the Triban number Nazo, Kana Kandi, Simsi Mazoji Padonga, and the Simsi Sanjasalian, we are captured the car. Over the bell. Simsi Mazoji Padonga, toward the Northern Zionis.
So the purpose of holding the jewel at the heart is more or less like the commitment that until the end of the cycle of existence, I will manifest in different form and different aspect according to their need and their understanding to lead them into the enlightened states.
Koran Ben, Chidan Charlie, and that Koranella, and better Kana can do you driven Zini and Korak Junjuku. Korak Junjuka Yamara, complex Sanja, Sanjara. Where you are, Korak Junjuka, Junjuka, men and Koran and the Sanjay Madoji, but the Koran and the Sanjay, another good diversion, Sanjay, I don't do what you notice.
So, in actuality, he was, enlightened, but still residing in the cycle of existence or in the samsara, to lead or to assist and to lead sentient beings into the enlightened state. Although he was residing in the cycle of existence, but he was not strained, or he doesn't have any defilement of the samsara or of the cycle of existence.
어떤 고백날은 왜 전해야면 고백 견주 그거 말했어. 견주 말고 방 고백 견주 말고 살아 배만 나가라. 배만 생각은 남아 지견 남게 견주 말고 반나시. 저래서 그 차가 배만 이거든요. 고백 날이야. 생각 탐색을 배 동시에 배 고백 날이야. 니 두가 나서 왔지는 고백 견주 그거 말했어. 배만 나버서. 얘네 섬주도 당가 말했어. 내가 너거든 생각했어.
So the reason why he is holding the lotus flower in the hand is that although Altruistic is manifesting and residing in the samsara or cycle of existence for the sake of leading sentient beings into the enlightened state, but he will never stain by these defilements of the cycle of existence. Like for example, the lotus grows from the muddy, but the lotus petal doesn't hold any dust from that mud. Same like that. And then, it is one that. And then the other hand is that holding a jewel is the commitment to lead entire sentient being or reside in samsara until the samsara ends.
다 제가 인간 지단배 장도지배 바로 도시신비 규견 비게 가서다. 배만데 바로 도시신비 규견 비게 가서다. 어떻게 비가 삽세가 20년에는 비게 가서다. 삽세니가 20년에 배만데 비게는 사와당 노고디 비게는 가서다. 세베 삽세기 비게다. 가서다. 삽세니 다 중요했어.
So this lotus and the jewel also symbolizes the holy mind of the profound, profound, and then the illuminations. This symbolizes these two holy minds.
If
you don't know the profound and illumination, then these are the method and the wisdom.
So
in this case, when you talk about the method, so this the holy body of the Avalokiteshvara is the illusory body, so that symbolizes the method. And in this case, we're not referring to the general two truths.
미네바도 양알랜데바니 시와침부 꾸니바디 꾸니바 인스는 아빠마들 저단 배만 시원이 장한 배 도지원 인지원과 고알을 배선지 탐색을 배네 주반나 만나서 전체가 인스야 최종이 너번째 말을 왔어.
So the holding the reason for him to hold the lotus is that he have found the final peace, this the state of enlightenment, this non-remainder nirvana. He have achieved that kind of peace, but yet having achieved that state, then and not residing in that state because of the force of the compassion, working for the sake of sentient being, then he's holding the jewel that symbolizes the force of compassion, dedicating for the sake of sentient beings.
다 지단도 오서로 단 초지는 저는 초지람자 지금 두단년 받다겠어. 초주 신ram장 초주 산재의 신배는 신거 두단 장단년배는 신들의 먹고서 요랬어요.
So in the other hand, it also said that there's in the 10 directions there are infinite Buddha fields or the Buddha realms, which is the equal number with the atom of the earth.
저다 같은 배 도시시 뭐 삼재 뒤는 조화를 배 섬재를 야배는 차배 섬재를 배는 차배 인지 탐재 배 뒤셔가 놀라 차배였어.
Then it is also said that he is he personifies or is the embodiment of the compassion of all the Buddhas in the Buddha realms. Whose compassion is very much attached or very much concerned for the sentient beings. All these collections of the compassions of infinite Buddha field, manifesting in a physical aspect. So it is said that the compassion of all the Buddhas of the 10 direction, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of 10 direction is as vast as the ocean.
솔직히 와서 심지어 탐제별로 마땅한 닝지 신도배 차도요. 텔레장 신도는 텔레장 신도배 차과봐 바로 전에 차과 레장 차과 놀라 차배 운도 차배 닝지 가서 더버서 텔레 좀 보인 전에서 나오는 바세와 인연상 솔직히 와서 제가 탐제가 닝지 가서 더버 좀 텔레장 신도 놀라 신도는 차과 되는 바고 닝지 신벌에 충분히 제라서 그다 제라서 senso와 와다 솔직히 와서 당장 닝지세 텔레장 충분히 그냥 신도는 놀라 차과 닝지 소수 때문에 바고 제라서 그다 고는 게 뭐죠 그래서
So it is said that naturally all the Buddhas, the compassion of all the Buddhas of the 10 direction are very much concerned to the sentient beings. But then the compassion of our Lokiteshvara is much more than that, much more greater than that of the Buddhas of the 10 direction. Much more concerning towards the sentient beings, in the samsara. So therefore, therefore he has all those different levels of manifestations, to perform different performances for the sake of the sentient beings whom he is most concerned with. So generally you can find so many different aspects of our Lokiteshvara. So generally there are infinite manifestations of our Lokiteshvara, such as our Lokiteshvara known as Tayusha, and then this line rolling our Lokiteshvara. Likewise, there this blue neck our Lokiteshvara, and so on. Like there's actually infinite, and some are in the form of a Dharma protectors. You also have the manifestation of our Lokiteshvara, who is said to be the wealth god, Ganapati. So likewise, there are infinite, manifestations or infinite form of our Lokiteshvaras, but we do not need to go all of them here. So among all these different manifestations, here now we are explaining the 1,000-armed and 1,000-eye. 자동 텔레한테 최저 성진 캠보 로고 도시신 뭐 자동 요래 지다 난 뱀을 로고 자동 이분들이 딱 어디 제라서 지고들래 얘네 대한 남바들어요 말았어. And then within the 1,000-armed Chenrezig there are two traditions, two lineages. 1,000-armed Chenrezig derived, or the lineage from the King Songtsen Gampo, the religious King Songtsen Gampo, and one is from the Gelongma Pamo. So these two, in the essence, are same, but in the outshow, or the external aspect is like different. So the tradition derived from Songtsen Gampo is known as the King's tradition. That tradition you mainly find in the Nyung meditation. In the Nyung tradition, the Nyung Nay practice is carried on mainly accordance with the King's tradition. So in that tradition, among the 11 phases, there's only only 4 peaceful phases. The rest of the phases are wrathful phases. But then in this tradition, the Pama's tradition, then you have only one wrathful phase.
어, 당연하도 다 등산배 다 trahasewa pamolu dan di Chenrezig da. Nyung Nay cho mangchajin de tang yoris.
So, in our tradition, the most well-known Nyung Nay practice is carried on accordance with the, Burma's tradition, the Gelungpa Palma's tradition.
가시가 배냐 Nyung Nay nanga jabo Chenrezig nanga jabo sanjo 대관에 Nyung Nay tanga yore. 도와 군주서 대관에 tanga yore. 동해란 로서 대관에 Nyung Nay tanga yoris.
So, there are also, you can also find Nyung Nay practice according to the different traditions like Dowa Kunchog, which means, the tradition known as liberating entire sentient beings. And then Namge Gyalbo means, king of the sky, from that tradition. Then it's called Dungal Rangchol, like the natural eliminations of the suffering, also that tradition. So there are many different traditions of Nyung Nays.
So among
all this, then we follow this tradition of Gelungpa Palma. So even though follow this tradition and practice this tradition, then when you actually attain the enlightenment, you have to attain enlightenment according to the highest yoga tantra. But then usually, you can find the explanations that Gelungpa Palma achieved enlightenment according to the practice of Nyung Nay. So initially, the reason why Gelungpa Palma had to carry on this intensive practice of Nyung Nay is because he got this leprosy. She was caught by leprosy disease. So having done the intensive Nyung Nay, then she got cured all the leprosy disease, and even showed the aspect of aspect of attaining enlightenment on the full moon day of the 4th month. Later on, there's a lot of conflict arise. They're saying that Gelungpa Palma is not the Vikshuni, and all this kind of problems occurred. So then, since the main, the actual attainment of enlightenment of Gelungpa Palma is, she attained enlightenment in the aspect of Hamo Uchema, which you can find within the Rinjung Gyaltsas. Because the reason is everyone is kind of criticizing that she not being the fully ordained Bhikshu. And then she shows some of the different manifestations, like in some cases she just chopped up her head and holding in her right hand, and levitating in the space or flying in the space like that. So Hamo Uchema means the Dakini who cut off her head. Uchema. So you can find the Dakini who have chopped her head and holding her head in the hand. So it's like, so it says that this tradition, in accordance with the Gelungpa Palma, the external practice or external practice is the action tantra, but the inner intention is the highest yoga tantra. It is said, you can find the explanation in the praise of Gelungpa Palma that external aspect or external outshow is in the form of Vikshuni, and holding the lotus flower and so on.
Because
internally she is a great yogini of our Avalokiteshvara. And then in the secret practice of her is the Vajra yogini. So in the praise through the Galomapama, you can find that our external aspect is in the form of fully ordained Bhikshuni, and inner practice is the yoga of Avalokiteshvara, and in the secret practice, she's relating with the Vajra Yogini. So in reality, she's a great practitioner of the Has Yoga Tantra.
But I
was informed that she was born somewhere in Nepal, but Geshe says he hasn't been that place where she was born and all this things. Yeah, he doesn't have a clear idea about where she was actually born.
But then, in
short, through depending on the practice of Nyung Nay, then she achieved the enlightenment. And she showed the aspect of attaining enlightenment on the full moon of the 4th month. So actually, since she was already enlightened, and then she had the ability or the power to emanate or manifest infinite bodies equal to the sentient beings, but anyhow, the one of the most well-known incarnation or the manifestation after that life is the first abbot of the Sara monastery. So it is said that in above the Sara, where the Sara monastery is, there you can see many footprints of Galungma. So also on the one rocky mountain, there are many footprints of the yogini. And then down and underneath that rock, she hid the Logeshwara statue or Chenrezig statue, which is said to be her main meditational deity or something like that. She hidden in the cave somewhere there. And since that time, maybe she had the intention, maybe when the next rebirth or when the next emanation, when she comes in the form of the Sara Abbot, maybe she had to wish to bring that out, bring that image out, statue out. So the first, the name of the first Sara Abbot, the manifestation of that Bhikshuni was the Guru Jalsen Sangpo. Above the Sara monastery, there's a family in the name of Ramatse family. Because Ramatse means that the family used to have a lot of goats, which is right. So every day, when the family milked the goats, one goat is always disappearing. Every day one goat is always disappearing. So So then the person who is looking after the girls, looked almost everything looking low. One day, he found a goat in the cave where the goat is offering the milk to the Avalokiteshvara in the cave.
제만 로스다 치면 로스들 야든 다 도시 먹고도 송전이 등한데는 스라야 고니 견제상보요 우리 견제상보라 당한데 랭가쇼서 야바 송어랬으니
And then that statue actually spoke to that shepherd, that person saying that in the Sara monastery, this person known as Kongla Sangbo, and you tell him to bring me down. Statue spoke like that.
또 제만은 고리 장제정어 마텐데 쉬는 남주인의 서로 소장을 다들 라는 독스탄 등산면도.
So then this abbot the Kojan Sangbo actually invited the statue to the temple, but now the statue has disappeared. I can't see anymore.
지금와서 때 미신의 세운 비가 표관도 그래. 차선에 비가 차태간도 그랬어. 참범을 사네 비가 도시구도 사가도.
Usually they do like if a person dies, they go to make a lamb offering in the golden butter lamb there. And then also if you want to make and then if you want to make 100,000 prostration, they do in front of that image. It was considered to be quite holy.
다들 대대로는 보고전에서 다 가서 다 빼먹고 다들 마한을 마신다 마다 가서 다들 마한을 라기 나도 마 빼먹는 마송아지 같은 가서 다 라기 마신다 마주요.
So then, since the tradition originated, or the lineage originated from the Lama, and then the lineage passed through, there are so many lineage lamas who hold these traditions.
마다면 그런 보고 두지진 무슨 더 시에스 대배 다들 담바 요스나 와서는 인자 보고 지라스 다들 용량가 초도 지라스 그런 셈을했어.
So since the Lama Pamo have the direct vision of our Avalokiteshvara, then because of that, then she received entire instruction of this Nyung Nay practice directly from our Avalokiteshvara. And then she passed this lineage, through the master known as the Chenrezig. And it is also said that the Chenrezig is also manifestation of the one of the manifestation of our Avalokiteshvara as well. Then passed to the Geshe Sangbo. And then the Penyawa from Nepal. And then there's Bodhisattva Dawa Gyaltsen. Called the Lama. So this Bodhisattva, Dawa Gyaltsen is the practitioner who did infinite, a lot of Nyung Nays in the upper Tibet known as Kerong. In Kerong, there's one Lokeshwara statue, so he did a lot of Nyung Nays. So that statue is now in Dharamsala with His Holiness.